Hi everyone. So I wrote a letter to the AFP, Victoria Police and Media Watch in regards to a meeting that took place on Wednesday night with the Muslim community and the AFP and Vic Pol. And the meeting was about the death of brother Numan Haider, and I wanted to share it today, the letter that I wrote, in the hopes that someone will come out and correct the facts and set the story straight. Dear AFP, Victoria Police, Media Watch, and all media consumers, I'm writing this letter to you in my pursuit for justice in light of the ruthless and predatory actions of the government, police, media tag team over the last few days. In particular, I seek redemption and the restoration of dignity to the loved ones of 18-year-old Abdul Numan Haider, who was terrorized and murdered by our police force. On Wednesday night, the Australian Federal Police, the Counter-Terrorism Joint Committee and Victoria Police initiated an emergency community consultation with the Muslim community. There, we were told that the incident which resulted in the tragic death of Numan was actually in no way related to the latest counter-terror expeditions. It was clarified that in actual fact, Numan's investigation was embryonic rather than part of a larger 3-month operation as was reported by the media. The reason for his investigation, or in fact organizing the meeting with him that eventually led to his unfortunate murder, was not connected to ISIL or otherwise connected to whether or not he carried ISIL flags, that there was no attempt to behead any police officers, and as per protocol, the incident is under investigation by Homicide Squad detectives on behalf of the coroner and overseen by Professional Standards Command's members. The police tried to reassure us that everything we had seen and heard in the media, terror suspect, jihadi, teen terrorist, was blatant untruth and ultimately shifted the blame to the merciless exploitation by the media of this unfortunate event. But sometimes saying sorry or that it wasn't our fault just doesn't cut it. The shoot to kill of Numan happened on Tuesday evening at 7:45 p.m. Where was the media interrogation of AFP Commissioner in the 24 hours between the murder and the community consultation? Why didn't the AFP or Victoria Police rally the media the same way they had done with the Sydney and Brisbane raids the week prior and clear the air on this sickening hype of terror suspicion? And why then did they only tell us? Why behind closed doors? Did they expect us to go back to the community wide-eyed and full of hope that this time they were on our side? That they weren't actually targeting us? That this time it was all the media's fault? The damage has been done. There is clearly disparity between what we were told on Wednesday night and what is being reported, so someone needs to take responsibility and clear the air. But let's be real. This is not about preventing violent radicalism or interrupting public beheadings. This is not about protection or the threat to the survival of society. This is the politicization of scenes from everyday lives because their day-to-day living is securitized. This is the dominant narrative of governing modern society. Yet this is bigger still than exceptional politics and the permanent state of exception that we have been imprisoned by, that they have been living in, fearing in since 2001. It is the creation of an ontological insecurity, to keep the masses in order. This is the way they struggle to cope with uncertainty and insecurities. It is an operational mode of powerlessness and anxiety that permits them to be perceptive to the politics of risk and the politics of fear that this government relies on and depends on. This is the government police media tag team. Wake up, or at least be fair. Call them out on their conniving, manipulative self-entitlements. Stand with me and demand for an inquiry into the shameless, exploitative and selective reporting of the media. Take it a step further and expose the AFP and Victoria Police's leveraging of the media. Please. Actually, all I really want is for some peace and closure to the loved ones of Numan Haider, and for me and for my community. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for Samaya. You see, people say Tony Abbott's a leader, but if you want to look around Australia for leadership, I'm looking for Samaya. How's that for leadership? Courage and leadership. I want to pick up on 2 points that Samaya was talking about. The news reporters have already packed up and left. They don't want to see solidarity, and they don't want to see people like Samaya speaking. They don't want to show strong Muslim leaders. But there's another thing that was mentioned in that wonderful speech, which was that when this Islamophobe over here started attacking Muslim people in broad daylight, he was called upon by myself from this microphone to be taken away by the Victorian police. And what did you do? What did you do? You stood there and you let him insult and abuse an entire section of our community. It is simply not good enough. And it's moments like that. It is moments like that where we really see which side the Victoria Police and the mainstream media's bread is buttered. That's when we see the truth of what's going on in this country. You stand back and you let bigotry reign supreme. The media report on bigots. The media wanted the sensational spot and they got it. But we know the truth. We know what's happening because leaders from the Muslim community are telling us, and we have it in our hearts. It's called solidarity, and it's not going to be stopping anytime soon in Melbourne. We stand against Islamophobia. We stand in solidarity with the Muslim community around Australia. They've been here for a very long time and they're not going anywhere. These attacks will not stand. This is a battle and a fight we can win. We're going to be back on October 19 on the streets, and we're going to be bigger in number, and we're going to tell this government and the media they can go and get stuffed. Am I right?